Good afternoon. Yes, I'm cackling like a little schoolgirl. Wow. Cool shit, man. Um, I'm not sharing this in a bunch of places, but I've been trying to at least put the thing there. Oh, yay, I got another follower on here. I'm being followed. Keeping this in the Trudging Together family. I don't know how many people are actually going to show up because, you know, who really wants to come on here because Dion's excited. So we'll find out. Even if nobody shows up, I got to get this off my chest. Any emotion for alcoholics is bad. And I'm very excited right now. I'm satisfied. I'm not satisfied yet, but I am. Been working hard on some things. So, but I don't want to blow any of it. I don't blow any of it. In other words, I don't want. I'm gonna wait till that 3-minute mark this time before I get started. What else can I talk about before then? What's a good talk? Let's talk about 12-step work a little bit and what 12-step work is, and that there's a difference between 12-step and service work. See, on our coins it says recovery, and that is the 12-step. Okay. Unity is the traditions. Service, I might have it backwards, but I tend to separate these things. So me sponsoring is me paying it forward. That is me giving away everything that I have so that I can keep what I got. Service work is a 12th step call. I'm not a sponsor yet. Okay. Now, is it time that different? No, it's not. It's not time. It's the action that we are taking. Yeah. Now I separate those. It might be different for you. Hi, Jillian. Good to see you. I had somebody was like, "Oh, Dion's excited." I went, yeah, when I get overly excited, it's not necessarily a good thing because I start going too fast. And when Dion goes too fast, what happens is then Dion will start making decisions all by himself. And at this point, I cannot do that. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. You know it. You know it. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. Tell you a little story. When I was, I think I was like 3-4 years sober, I had applied to work at out here. It's called Washington House Detox, just a detox out here, right? And they said, "Thank you very much for your application, but you do not meet the requirements of having a bachelor's degree." And then it occurred to me why I almost died going to detox, trying to look for help. Detox isn't going to give you help here in Colorado. They think their only job is to keep you safe. And that's not what detox is about. Detox is the main place that you can go, not only to get off whatever and be safe and get the right meds and things like that, but it's supposed to be a resource center. We should have all the resources, and they should be all connected. I'll give you an example. Medicaid beds for treatment. There should be an ongoing email about what beds are available at every single detox for Medicaid. We shouldn't have to make a fucking phone call. Ever. Ever. And there should be no time in between detox and treatment. Ever. If they're going to treatment. I don't utilize treatment here. Most of it sucks. And there's no Medicaid beds. And if you ain't taking Medicaid, I'm not going to utilize you anyway. Because I utilize Medicaid. Thing is, you don't need Medicaid in order to get sober and get into recovery, right? So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I got 4 years of sobriety. I used to be a drug and alcohol counselor. I'd probably rip any of you people apart. And they're like, no, we don't hire those people anymore. Aha. See, when I was trying to get sober and I've been at detox 22 fucking times, you know what that is? That's body brokering. And it's bullshit. And Dion will not tolerate it. I won't. If you do something to me and I catch you, you want to know why I report? Because that means you're going to do it to somebody else. And if you do and I let you get away with it, I will get the consequences. I will. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about how it works for you, but I will get the consequences. In action about something that I see, I will get a consequence and it will be fucked up. God doesn't let me get away with that crap. Does he let you guys get away with that? Not me. Right? See, when it happens to you, it's harder, but like somebody gets beat up or whatever, you got to report, man. You got to go to the police. You got to do the right fucking thing. I was just in a situation with a young man. I'm like, no, dude, you got to go to the cops. The end result was, they couldn't do anything, but if it happens again, and I'm like, there you are. Hi, Ingrid. You were stuck in a rewatch. Yeah, I know. At least sometimes I'll be here and somebody will be in a rewatch and they'll type into the chat and it'll show up on the live I'm on. Hi, CJ. You just joined thank you for joining my YouTube. All right. I didn't quite get into everything. I was kind of lollygagging because Jillian was here. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. Okay. So they said that I couldn't work at detox because I didn't have a bachelor's degree. And then I knew what the problem was. See, detoxes, we used to get paid one way, a success rate. And you know what a success rate does for alcoholics? It keeps them accountable. I'm talking about Colorado. And we were number 7 in the country. People call our detox saying, what the fuck are you guys doing? Because it's working. Now people say, what are you guys doing there? Because we don't want to repeat it. Fuck that. I'm not going to tolerate it. No. Not Colorado. All right. So I'm like, oh, you don't hire those people. So you know what I did next? I started bugging the state. I started bugging all the detoxes. Why aren't you doing peer? 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 I did that years ago. They didn't have peer before then. No. I'm like, yeah, it's a great idea. And then they handed it to a bunch of unhealed alcoholics and let them make all these fucking decisions. Now it's a wreck. Okay. Right? I'm like, bachelor's degrees. No wonder you couldn't help me. You didn't know how. Okay. You know what that does to AA? It'll kill it. It'll kill it. And kind of waiting on one other person because okay, I'm just gonna bring it up. I know people worry about my money. I know they do. Because I don't take money for what I do. But now I'm set up, and because they decided not to listen to me a year ago, and you don't have the whole story. So the people that are putting up the detox, I used to work for them, and they would not talk to me. Well, I made the pain hurt. I made it hurt. I'm like, okay, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm just going to go ahead. What I told them was, I will go to Adams County, and I will take it back. We will give that contract to somebody else. Hey, we felt from 48th to 50th. Is it okay to listen to me now? And now they want to talk. It took me 2 years of complaining. Okay. Now, why am I so adamant about that? Because when I went to work for that detox, I have never been treated worse in a recovery area ever. Ever. Never have I seen it worse. And I told them, if you give us the same thing and I do nothing about it, it is on me too. Because I'm not going to let you do it to the next peer. I'm not going to let you do it to the next client. Those days are over. Okay. I have a case going against the Attorney General of Colorado. I do. Sure I do. I ain't afraid of that motherfucker, you little wimp. He better never meet me in a dark alley. Because I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to tell you, we say that, but we don't mean it. Okay? Just so you know. I'm not big into physical violence, but sometimes I do think people need to fucking throw a punch. Pain is, see, pain makes change. Well, they created more pain and then I made it hurt. I threw salt on that wound and I stuck my fucking finger in there. I went, mm, mm. Then they came back and I'm like, oh, here, I'll make my amends. Here we go. Now we're on the same team. I had to manipulate the motherfuckers. Yeah. And I've had to be very careful about it. Very, very careful. But I was telling you about the money, okay? I've been doing their job for years now. Well, I'm meeting with the executive director, blah, blah, blah. I hate even saying that, but I just want you to know who I'm talking to, okay? But now that I can go there, now I have a meeting with these people, and now they're on board. Now they're willing to talk to Dion, okay? But it's been a year, 2 years, and there are some things that happen. Now I had to go back and do this, and they wasted my time. What does my time equal? Well, it equals money, and I'm $100 an hour, and they're gonna fucking pay me for what I've done and what I'm doing, or I will go somewhere else. I will just take the $2.2 million and I'll do it. I'm going to make Adams County pay me. I'm going to make Aurora Mental Health pay me. And they can call me whatever the fuck they want, but I would prefer recovery advocate. So for everybody that doubted that Dion wasn't making money or all these things, no, I create my own fucking jobs. It's what I do. I'm good at it. And I created my own job. God gave me something to do. Will the money come? I don't know. But don't worry about my fucking money. All right. I hear it too much. I get paid. Oh, you have no idea how I get paid. People don't know how I get paid. I do. Right? I'll give you an example. I've got a finance guy. Helps me with finances, does this, does that. He's $500 an hour. Okay. You know what he charges me? Nothing, because I do what I do. That's why. Because he knows if he supports me, I will go back out and make sure his grandchildren are fucking safe. That's why. And there is no amount of money worth that. Or no amount of money. I could charge you $2,000 an hour if I wanted to for that. I think $100 an hour is getting off easy, considering. Okay. Now I know it sounds like I'm being bitchy, but I'm excited because finally I'm getting these people to see it. Finally, it has taken a lot of hard work. It has taken a lot of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. And without God, without you, and everybody that has supported me that said, Dion, we know it sucks. Keep going. You can do this. We got you. If it wasn't for all that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. This is a we thing. And I tell you now that everything's set up and the arguing is over, everybody's going to want to jump on the bandwagon. Am I tell you my answer? No. That is my answer. So I'm going to be doing legislation next year. And the first thing I'm going to do is the recovery coaches have to have a full background check before they are allowed to talk to anyone. Period. If you work at detox, full background check. Okay. Number one thing for detox, okay, that they're not doing. Okay. And this will blow you away. Drug test. They don't drug test their employees. It was my number one complaint. I went to work at East Metro Detox. I'm like, you made me get the COVID shot that I didn't even fucking want. I didn't want that. I didn't even want this job. I knew I'd be horrible at it, my PTSD. Okay? You made me get flu shot. You made me get all this. Okay, on my dime, thank you. But you didn't drug test me. Did you ever see Amityville Horror? You ever see Amityville Horror? Remember at the end, He's shaking the guy, right? They're both business developers. He's like, you moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies. That's what the problem we have right now. See, Colorado is just about looking fucking pretty. We ain't solving nothing. We've gone from the 48th worst state to 50th. We are the only state that got worse in 2023. The only state. And that is the pain that I have been using. And they're going to pay for it, whether it's accountability, responsibility, jail time, or money in my bank account. I've been building a freaking empire. That's what I've been doing. I had a missed call right now, 575. I don't know that number. Hopefully they left a message. Who anymore? I even have to answer calls that say scam. It might be a scam. I even have to answer those because there's so many government officials calling me now. But and that's not a brag. That's just the way it is. I needed the right people. See, AA will not survive without the right people. It won't. That's why we have the responsibility statement. The responsibility statement is for the professionals. The multi-pathways to recovery, it's done before recovery. The multi-pathway means you found us either through doctor or lawyer or judge or nurse or your husband or your wife or your cousin or your teacher or whatever, the garbage man. Maybe you gotten close with your garbage man and he's in recovery and he goes, man, you should check out AA. It's really worked for me. That is a pathway to recovery. That's the pathway to recovery. Okay. Now, this is where we get into sticky situations. Does AA have any say on outside issues? No, it does not. And if you don't keep the shit separated, you're gonna fucking blow tradition. Okay. But I've been doing this a long time and I know the difference between clinical. See, I can go talk to these people, talk their language. If I talk to here, you guys be like, what the fuck are you saying? Like DOC. What's your DOC? Drug of choice. No, not Department of Corrections like you're thinking. Right? We're alcoholics, is how we think, right? Right. But I'm excited at the fact that we finally fucking did it. I think I'm more relieved. I think I'm excited because this weight has been taken off my shoulder. I've been running around protecting AA in Colorado for years. Nobody knows I'm doing it because then you're just going to think I'm an asshole. It's got to be done the right way. We got to meet people where they're at. That's why I started the grassroots meeting. That grassroots meeting is what's going to take over Colorado because even the central office is fucking up right now. I had to call them last week and say, why the fuck are you having this at this place? They said, that's an outside issue. I said, you are correct. But when we have those meetings and you put it at an outside issue, you have done wrong. Well, maybe we should have a meeting. Yeah. So now I'm calling a meeting at central office. I'm going to sit them all down and say, you guys have got to be fucking careful. You've got to be careful. No, it's not all inclusive. No. Do you not know what these people are doing? That's an outside issue. No, you're a weak fuck. You're being weak. God will take care of it. God put it in front of your fucking face. We have that thing, right? The guy's, he's on his roof. It's like the flood one, right? So there's a flood coming, right? And he has to keep going. So he's on the roof of his house. He's like, God, please help, please help me. And he sends a boat. And the guy's like, okay, get on the boat. Let's go. He's like, no, God will take care of me. See? No, God gave you the boat. Then he sends a helicopter and the guy dies. Well, what happened? And he goes, God, what happened? I believed in you. He's like, I answered you twice. You didn't take it. You didn't take it. Okay? Sometimes something bad is going to happen and it's actually a gift. It's actually a gift because God said, you can handle this. The next person they're going to do this to can't handle it. So I need you to stop them from doing it. Yeah. Now we'll go to the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I'm making change. I say we, but it was me. But I like including everybody. Now, why do I say we? Because without the suggestions, without the action itself, no, that was all me. I made the phone calls. Nobody else has made a phone call. Nobody complained. Nobody else did anything. I did that. But I had to start somewhere. Okay. Does that separate me? No. And what I'm tired of is this. Everybody thinks they're the new fucking Bill Wilson, and you're not. You're not. You're not Jesus. You're not Dr. Bob. You're not the new Carl Jung. You're none of these things. God picks those things. Okay? You didn't go through what Bill went through, and you wouldn't want to. You ever had a DT? No? You don't want it. Trust me. You don't want it. Trust me. Okay? DT's, I mean grand mal seizure. You ever had a seizure from drinking? Bill did. Yeah. That's an alcoholic death. So the neat thing is it's working. I mean, I could sit here for hours and complain about everything that has happened. Okay. And I can listen. I can account for this, that, but okay. But the thing is I know I got, oh, CJ, what a great line. See, it's the lines like this. Okay. I steal this shit, just so you know. I probably won't remember this one, but these little quips, I use them when I go and do this stuff. Okay. And I let them know I have hundreds of alcoholics who feel the same way that I do. It's just that I've been chosen to speak. That's it. That's all I am. I'm the messenger from that side. From as far as AA goes, yeah. Someone else's spiritual shoes might make your feet hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Get your own pair of shoes, man. Yeah. We'll even help you buy them. AA's that way. AA's that way. All right. I'm going to give you the definition of a recovery coach. Okay. This is what a recovery coach is supposed to do. Oh, before I move on, one of the requirements for this new detox is that 80% of the employees are recovered. Okay. Alcoholic, addict, OA, gambling, sex. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter. With the correct training. It got to be the right training or no. Or you're going to fuck it up. You don't know how to write a DAT note yet. You probably don't even know what that means. All right. So I'm looking at different systems for trainings. If not, I'll create one. And we'll just make it our own. Right. And then people will be like, then the rest of Colorado will have to follow Adams County. They won't have a choice because the movement will be so big that it'll just happen. We don't need the government. We don't need them. Okay. We do need lawyers and doctors and psychiatrists and therapists and psychologists. We call these friends of AA. Those are friends of AA. Okay. So what was I talking about on that? There was an example. And it was okay. Well, maybe it'll come back. Oh, it was one of the things with the right education, right? No, it was even before that. So see, I told you I'm overly excited, and I've probably talked about 20 different things since I've been here, and I try and keep it. I've had to explain this over and over and over again to people that don't understand, and I've gotten pretty good at it. Because you can't offend the person, but you got to educate. I was talking to a person doing admissions at a treatment center, and I said, "Are you 12-step based?" No, we are not. We utilize CBT. Chance for me to educate. And I said, all right, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Do you offer CBT? Yeah, I just said that. So yeah, well, the 12 steps are CBT. The only difference is you have the X factor and we have God. So yes, you are 12-step based. So if somebody ever asks you that again, you can say yes, and here is why and how. Okay, if they use CBT, then they are 12-step based. But they cannot get paid for teaching you the 12 steps. See, that's against the traditions. Treatment isn't about the 12 steps. It's about one, 2, and 3 very much. But if they're having you do a 4-step and stuff in treatment, no, they have gone beyond what they're supposed to do. CJ says, I am placed in a disability position. I have the highest level of alcohol neuropathy. CJ, we need to get you on the podcast. Neuropathy. I hope I said that right. I thought about recovery coach training just in like the last 2 months. CJ, if you want to do something like that, please talk to me about it first so that I can at least send you to the right people. And I know where you're at. I know what city you're in. I'm trying to place it, and it's up in the mountains, is it not? How close is that to, God, now I can't remember any of the names. There's a place in the mountains, and it's called Discovery Cafe, and it's run by a guy named Gabe. I will probably send you that way. Although I just saw him post a picture with him and the biggest body broker I know. So, hi, Patricia. Hi again. So, yeah, Patricia, you've been listening to me for years. I finally got the county and the detox. They're all going to sit down with me now, and we're making changes. We finally did it, Patricia. Yeah, I know where you are at, CJ, but I was not going to say your name and then tell people where you were at. Silverthorne. How far is that from Silverthorne? I may have Erie wrong in my head, and that's why I'm asking. So let me tell you what a recovery coach is supposed to do. Okay. They do not. Let's say what a recovery coach is not first. They're not a doctor. They're not a therapist. They're not an expert in anything. No. A recovery coach is only as good as their resources. Yeah. A recovery coach is because a recovery coach is about resources. Okay, Deanna, I'd like to check this path out. I'd like to check this pathway out. Okay, let's go get that. Do you think I've worked all 47 different fucking pathways? I think there's 3. And I haven't worked all 3. Are you kidding? I'm in AA. But I know I'm not, right? We got AA, we got Celebrate Recovery. People that love Jesus and like to crosstalk. Smart Recovery, great program for people that don't like God. Or I'll send you maybe, oh, Dion, I'm an atheist, I'm agnostic. We've got those meetings. You bet we do. You need a driver's license. A recovery coach helps you get your driver's license back. You need Medicaid. A recovery coach will help you get Medicaid. But if you've not gotten your driver's license back and you have not gotten your Medicaid and you don't have those resources, how in the fuck are you going to do that? But instead, recovery coaching, everybody thinks that these coaches are like a wellness coach. And that, no, they are not that. No, 30 hours of training and you think that they got it? Oh, okay. A recovery coach probably shouldn't be under 21. You better have at least 1 to 2 years of sobriety first. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something. What do we do in AA? We help you get your driver's license back. I've got doctors that take alcoholics. I had to find them for the halfway house. Yes, I've got doctors. I've got nurses. I've got everything. I'm not kidding. Okay. I just want you to have a reasonable expectation when you go into this. Okay. A recovery coach sometimes has to utilize their own resources, like a food bank. I've had to do it because the money, you don't become a recovery coach for the money. If they're throwing money in your face, run. Get the fuck away from those people. Okay? Because they would, I'm going to tell you, these people fooled me for close to a year. Do I seem like I'm easily fooled? No, I am not. I see everything. That's how fucking good they are. Oh, I'm at genius level, man. People are smarter than me. okay? But they're not a bigger bullshitter. You don't need to be smart to be a bullshitter. You just need to know how to manipulate people, right? So I think that recovery coaching is a great idea. I think it's a fantastic idea, but it must, like everything else, it must be done correctly. Now, let's say you get a recovery coach. Ask them qualifying questions. Did you do the steps? They're going to tell you no, most likely. What pathway did you go? Do you believe in a higher power? And here's a really good one. Do you have sponsees? If you talk to a recovery coach and they don't have sponsees, they're not a recovery coach. But you see how AA does the same thing? So why are we not doing that in AA? Why are we not doing that? CJ, I would actually recommend that you look at peer support specialist rather than recovery coach. Because at least with a peer support specialist, then you work for a company like Aurora Mental Health, MHCD, Mental Health Corporation, Denver. Great place. I love MHCD. Great place. And then you can go to work for them. And they do virtual stuff and things like that. But then you're training, things like that. Well, you just reach out and you tell me, all right, I will move into a different mode. Okay. Because service is something a little different. Service means no money. And if you're okay with that, you just tell me what you want to do. Okay. What does Dion do? I create service work. It's all I do. That's my job. My service is creating service work, because if I create service work, and let's say, and CJ, just because we're talking, let's say CJ's like, well, Dion, I want to help the homeless. I know all sorts of outreach. Maybe, I one girl, she's like, Dion, I really want to help, but I don't do what you do. I'm like, well, good, because we don't need any more of me. No, we don't need any more of me. And she said, Dion, what I like is back end work. I like doing the administration, making sure everything's where it's supposed to be, that meetings are running great, things like that. I'm like, we need that. Somebody's got to run the back end. Somebody's got to run it. The halfway house, it's all service work. It's a halfway house for homeless alcoholics. First one's going to be men's, and then we're going to put up a women's. It's happening. It's happening. I'm actually thinking about turning this house into a treatment center. There's this big backyard, and you can go buy these tiny homes, and we can just connect it to the house. We can have a whole treatment center. We can even have an indoor pool. It's that big. And what will it be? 12-step based. What does 12-step based mean? I'm placed to not need pay necessarily. Okay. But, yeah. CJ, do you have my phone number? Well, I'm in WhatsApp too. You're in the WhatsApp. So send me a WhatsApp message and tell me what you want to do. So this is how I work it. And I stole this from a book. Yeah. King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table, right? Yeah. No, I don't know if they existed. No, it's fiction, right? But what I read is what King Arthur would do, and I think it's based off a real person, but they threw magic and everything else in there, right? And right, but what he does is he puts people in a position doing what they love, and that's what I do. I find out your passion, and then I go get it for you. And now I have so many resources. There's a good chance I could do it for you. I've got thousands of jobs. I tell people all the time, I'm like, okay, if you want to keep your shitty fucking job, go for it. Free education, free training, great insurance. Did you know that I can make you a cop even if you're a felon? Yeah, I sure can. You're not carrying a gun. You can't. You're a felon. That's against the law. You're a police officer. Okay? But you're a recovered alcoholic. You don't need a gun. You got God. You don't need a gun. Did you know most other countries, the police don't carry guns? You don't need a gun. You're giving somebody a parking ticket. You don't need a gun. You're sitting there with a little beamer. You don't need a gun. You're probably not going to have a billy club either. It's all right. Maybe a taser. You don't need them. You're not a violent person. Patience, tolerance. All right? A lot of neat stuff. Oh, Amber, I have said everything in the last 35 minutes, but I will give you the abridged version. And I was actually kind of waiting on you. That's why I didn't say anything for 7 minutes. Because you've been following this, so I can give the abridged version. I'm finally, Aurora Mental Health and Adams County, they now all want to sit down and speak with me about the new detox coming. I'm meeting with Adams County on Wednesday, and then did they write back yet? She did. Thank you so much for the quick. Looking forward to meeting in November. They want finding a location. Actually, has responded. We are collaborating with them. Be interested in any thoughts. See, now we already have a conversation going on. So I had to be mean to them. I had to find the pain, right? And then I made the amends because they wrote me back. They actually wrote me back in August. Okay, I didn't see it, and I went back in my mail, and I don't see it. So it probably ended up in my junk mail, and it doesn't go back that far. I trust them because they even forwarded it to me, right? So I made an amends. I apologized because I did something wrong, and I did that first. Okay, and then I said, thank you for the quick response. I really appreciate that. I'm really glad to hear that we get to do that, and just move forward with more positive things. And at the end, I said, I know you guys are still looking for a location, and I actually don't know that. I was assuming, but I hadn't heard anything from somebody else, right? And so I gave him a suggestion. And okay, now listen I just want you to just listen to this. Thank you, Dion, so much for the quick reply. Looking forward to meeting in November. Finding a location is actually Adams County's responsibility. See, I did not know that, right? We're collaborating with them and would certainly be interested in any thoughts you have. I'm picturing 84th and Huron as best I can. Do you have a specific address? See, now I got him. Now we're on the same side. Now we can get something done. So here it is. The meetings, the grassroots meetings, the detox, the halfway house, and now we're going to treatment was all done on purpose. I did all that intentionally. It's been my goal for 4 fucking years. It took me that long to make the right contacts, the right resources. But Amber, the reason that I wanted you to hear it was this. Okay? I'm going to demand that they pay me for doing it. They just wasted 2 years of my life. So I want you all to know that what I've been doing is to set me up so I can retire. You bet. Yeah, you think I'm going to make money off the detox, the halfway house, not enough to live in a fucking mansion, but I don't mind living in it. Honestly, I want to turn this house into a treatment center and move into like a 600 square foot house with my wife. That's what I want. On a piece of land just a little bit east. Maybe I'll go live behind Amber or something out there. I don't want to say the city you live in. I'm careful about that with women. So that was the quick review, Amber. I finally, we're all going to sit down, and now they're getting it. Even my old boss is now online or, in it. Now, why did I do this? Because I went to detox 2 years looking for help, and I attended AA, and nobody helped me. That's why. And I don't want it to happen to somebody else. Yes, AA didn't help me. And I'll tell you what it was. Okay. Now, when I was in AA before, we didn't ask who here is willing to sponsor. No, No, that's not what we said. We said, who here is looking for a sponsor? And I would raise my hand during that. And I'm sure people were thinking, yeah, Dion, you can sponsor. That isn't what I was doing. I was saying I was looking for a sponsor. And those people in AA for 2 years let me fucking flounder until a man interrupted it. And I thank God for it. Dion, we love you, but you can't keep doing this. I'm like, no shit. No shit. He said, I'm going to be your sponsor. I'm like, fucking about time. I've been coming here for 2 fucking years. It took you 2 years? No, unfucking acceptable. I don't know if I can sponsor yet. If your sponsor said you could sponsor, you can sponsor. All right. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. And it's because I've had people supporting me. Even the meeting I put out at Henderson. The thing is that see, I gotta think forward. Oh, detox, satisfied. No, where are they gonna go? To the sober livings? Now we're just right back where we were. Now the whole point of the detox is null and void. Okay. You know, I even have to talk to AA here because they're like, okay, we're running a Bridge the Gap program, right? And as soon as you get out of treatment, we take you to AA. That's not the bridge that's not the gap that needs to be filled. Wrong. No, the gap that needs to be filled is the time between detox and treatment. They went to treatment. They don't need you. Treatment's going to tell them to go to AA. If they go, great. If they don't, so this is what happens. You get a 12-step call. Ling-a-ling. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. Yeah, I'm dry. I need help. All right, we'll be right there. I call my friend. We go over to this person's house. Do you really want help? Well, he called the line. Okay, hop in the car. We're going to take you to detox. I'm now this person's sponsor. That's how sponsorship starts. Yeah. So when we say you have to go out and look for your sponsees, I'm not talking about AA. You need to be a pathway to recovery. You need to be out there with the doctors, the lawyers. You need to talk to the professionals. Go to your local detox. Hey, have anybody I could talk to? You know what they're going to say? Yes. Okay. Because people in crisis aren't there because they don't have servants' hearts. Okay. See, I've thought of them too. Because I went to work at, so I want you to think on it. Okay. Now I'm going to describe this. I'll keep it as simple as I can. Detoxes get paid one of 2 ways. It used to just be a success rate, and that's when we were doing good. I know it sounds confusing. Yeah, you don't get paid till a year out, but you make more money. Or you hire people with bachelor's degrees. No, you don't make more money. I think it's the same. I think I'm wrong on that. Okay. I don't know it for actual facts, so I'm going to go with Dion's wrong, and we'll just say it's the same amount of money. Okay. Now, if I do bachelor's degrees, that means that about 2% are going to make it. That's where that 2% comes from. You hear the 2%, only 2% make it. Yeah, and it detoxes that shit. You are correct. Only 2% will make it. To an AA meeting. That doesn't mean they ain't going to make it. Now it's 50% of people in AA make it. See? Okay. Well, no need for treatment then, is there? And that's why our treatment centers went away. That's why our Apple House closed down. And they were the largest. They were actually ranked like the number 2 treatment center for years, right behind Betty Ford. I'm not kidding. I've worked with the best of the best in the past. But right. So when you have a success rate, which means 80% of the people working there are recovered and have the correct education, that number goes up. You'll be amazed at what it is. About 70%, if not half. Well, let's go with half, because that's a dual number. When I worked in detox in the 90s, I sent half of my clients to treatment, and they went that day. They went straight upstairs to the STIRT program. Now, okay. So what about the people with the bachelor's degrees? Okay. When you have a success rate that's 50%, you need more treatment, don't you? That's where they belong. They belong working in treatment. My job, okay, my job's depth and weight. I'm the one that makes them realize they're fucking up. They can't do that. They can't do that. What they'll get into is, yeah, what's your SUD? I'm sorry, that's a different one. That's substance use disorder, by the way. And if you don't write your DAT note that way, you don't get paid. Okay. But then I hear recovery coaches run around saying, yeah, alcohol use disorder. Shut your fucking mouth. Fuck NADAC. Fuck you, NADAC. The only thing good they've done in the last 20 years is call us a disorder. It's just a different name. No, a mental illness. We're good. I'm a drunk. It's good. Thanks. Man, you guys keep coming on towards the end. Oh, I have to pee. It's been 45 minutes. Of course I have to pee. But so anyway, so even the people that have bachelor's degrees, I'm not against them. It's the way it's set up. And they're naive. They don't know. They don't know when it comes to working with this, they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They don't. They're naive. And they will never, ever, ever be able to get through to us. And I'll tell you why. They want something. Even a recovered alcoholic working with the right education and detox is still tough. Why? Because you're getting paid. And they know that. Now, do you really feel like you can share your experience, strength, and hope with God? No, you don't. It ain't going to fly that well at detox. No. You're going to have to become the most neutral motherfucker you've ever met. But you're a recovered alcoholic, which makes you the most neutral motherfucker you've met. I know these things. If you haven't been through them, then what you have to do is trust me. And that was the hard part. That's why I haven't been taking money. Because if I took money, there's an expectation there. See, I had to make sure I was clean. I had to be clean, do the whole damn thing. And by clean, that I wasn't doing all these stupid, weird things in the community. That when I said I was going to do something, that I followed through on it. Right? Yeah. Okay. And what that's done is given me agency, which is advocating. Okay. Advocating's fun. How'd you like to work with people in drug courts, and instead of them going to jail, you help them get their family back? I can help you get there if you want to do that. You bet. I know the people at drug court in Adams County. I need to get all of that off my chest. And it was all good stuff. Right? Well, the ending is good, but the road was. And now comes the hard conversations, and we'll see how but there again, it's got to be done right. Right? I'm going to have to go to Aurora Mental Health and tell them, you treated me horribly. I have emails. I have all sorts of things. Okay. I'm going to have to be very clear on my PTSD, my anxiety, all of these things. Now, if I was being paid by Adams County to go over and do that, you think Adams County would be okay with that? No, they would not. See? Do you want money or do you want to change? All right. Do you want money or do you want agency? Because those are the choices. Okay. It was a couple of weeks ago. I put on Facebook, you can either be popular or you can be in recovery, because those two things come from different sources. They come from different sources. And once your popularity gets big, and if you don't have enough humility and you think this is going on, do you know what will happen? You'll get very excited, and then in steps the devil. That's exactly what happens. That's why I had to get it off my chest. Or what'll happen is my brain will be like, oh, since Dion, since you did this, which it wasn't just me, right? Oh, then we could do this. No, we cannot. Mm-mm. Okay. What'll happen is things will start to happen now that will try and push me out of my lane. I guarantee you that's what will happen next. Because if I was going to take somebody else down, that's what I would do. See, I have the answers because I was an asshole and I'm not anymore. Thanks, Pax. All right. All right. Thank God. Thank you, God. Just fuck. It's 444, which is the older 222. Hammer's gonna laugh at that one. I know. All right, I'm gonna wrap up. CJ, I'd be more than happy to help you manage through to what you want, and then let's go get it for you. You bet. If you want to do service work and money isn't a concern, then I have even more. Okay. Now, if you want to be educated and then use that education, I'll help you do that too. It's fine. Yeah. I believe in recovery coaches. I believe in peer support. I believe in that stuff. But there's a right way to do it, and then there's the right way to do it. There's no other way. It's done one way. Okay. And if we don't have God and humility in our lives, it will never, ever work. Won't work. Yeah. These are the discussions that I'll be having with them. And here will be the discussion. Okay. You have the X factor. I have God. And you can't do it. You can't do it. You make money. Yeah. You know, we have to do everything from helping people out to fundraisers to getting people jobs to secure this, secure that, do this, do that. And what does that take? It takes people and it takes time. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't really have to take money. People are like, how are you going to open that house? Like, what do you mean? We don't have any money. I don't. Yeah, I don't have any money. But I still don't, even right now, I don't understand what makes you think that money is the problem in that. Nope, it's location. Here's the thing. It has to be somebody that owns the house. It has to be the right person. I've already been through a couple of them, right? One guy, I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm doing this and can we meet? And his answer is, okay, no, I'm done. I'm already done. Okay is not, and this was not a valid answer to that. Okay. To him, I'm just another, no, I can't have that. I need somebody that is fully invested in this shit, that believes in what we're doing. Okay. And money's not an issue. The rent will be paid. That's actually the easy part. All right. Well, it's easy. Okay. Let's say the rent's 2,500. 2,500 divided by 5 is what? 500. So that means that I need a person to make $500 a month in order to cover rent. I'm not making money off the rent. No, the rent's the rent. I'll even tell you what the rent is. Oh, yep, this bill came today. We got to pay it. We all pitch in and we pay it. Okay. I have a whole system for that. Okay. They don't need to pay for food. I want them to save their money because the whole point is to move the fuck out. Okay. And what am I working on with that? Apartment buildings that are sober free, that are whole communities. You bet. Are there people out there doing it? Yes. But they're trying to make money off of it, and their money is more important than your life. That's the difference. I love you more than you probably know. More than you probably know. Probably not. I assume that. But I do. I love you all a lot. And thank you, everybody, for being on, doing what you do. I can never have enough thanks for the things people do for me. But, you know, my relationships are give and take, and they're beautiful. They really are. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I will help you without any expectation, but I already know you're going to do something and it's going to come back to me. Great. So let's do it. All right. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for letting me get off that chest for 54 minutes. I was going to do like